Hello, my name is Max. I'm teaching you math today. Pay attention. Do it right like we talked about. You're going to be doing multiplication. Okay, we tried. It was silly. Okay, can we talk about what Max did today, or the little surprise he left for me? Oh, the little surprise he left for me when I got home today? Tell him what you did. Hey, tell him what you did. Look in the camera. Look right here. Look. Tell him what you did. Oh, now he doesn't want to talk about it. Pooped on the floor. Pooped. Who does that? Who poops on the floor? This guy does. Look at this. Embarrassing. Are you embarrassed? You should be. Okay. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Okay. We'll see him in a little bit. All right, so before we start, I just really want to talk about how cute my bun is looking right now. It's like, just really like it. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, I'm ready. All right, so you should have your paper in front of you like I should have it. Guys, pause the video if your name is not on it. I know we did it in class, but just in case, put your name on it, okay? If you want a grade, you got to get your name on it, so please do that. So we're going to be going over the ones that I circled. It's one on this side, and then both number 3s in the middle. Okay, so starting here at number 1, I'm going to read it, so make sure you're following along with me. Number 1, on the right side of your paper. No, Max. I was trying to eat my jacket. Evander goes to baseball practice on Mondays and Thursdays. Each practice lasts 2 1/1500 hours. How many hours of baseball practice does Evander attend in 3 weeks? Okay, let's go back to that first sentence. It says Evander goes to baseball practice on Mondays and Thursdays. So Monday and Thursday in 1 week, he goes 2 times. And each one of those practice lasts 2 1/1500 hours. Okay, so right now I just saw that word each. So I want to just stop for a second and talk about that word. So we're going to hear that word very often in multiplication and division. The word each applies to both, so we have to be very careful about when we use it, or when we see the word, what operation are we going to do. So in this case, it's telling us to multiply, because I need to find out how much more. If I'm going from just a couple days to several days, my answer needs to be bigger, so I'm going to be multiplying. So right now the word each is telling us to multiply. So I know that each one of those practices lasts 2 1/1500 hours. So what I did was I wrote like this. I wrote Monday, 2 1/1500, Thursday, 2 1/1500. And the reason I'm adding those two together is so that I can find out how many hours of practice he goes to in 1 week. If I know how many hours he goes in 1 week, I can figure out from 3 weeks after that. So first I want to add these up. And remember, you want to line up your decimals when you're adding. We know that from before. So when you're adding, make sure your decimals are as lined up as possible. You want to make sure that your place values are correct. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this. Okay. 5 and 5 makes 10. Carry the 1. So 1 and 1 is 2, plus 1 more makes 3. Nothing to carry over. Those decimals should be lined up, so bring it on down. And then 2 plus 2 makes 4. So when I added Mondays and Thursdays practice together, we should have gotten 4 and 3/10 or 4 and 30/100. Remember, those are the same things. That trailing 0 could be dropped off if we wanted it to. So right now he goes to practice 4 and 30/100 in 1 week. So 4 and 30/100 is just for 1 week, guys. Just for the 1 week. Okay? But that's not what it's asking for. If we go to the last sentence, it says, how many hours of baseball practice does Evander attend in 3 weeks? So if I know for 1 week, I can simply multiply to find out for the 3 weeks. So I'm going to take the 4 and 30/100. I'm going to multiply it times 3 because I know that he's going to practice for 3 weeks. So that's what they want to know for. How many hours is he going for? 3 weeks. So right now, this is what you should have on your paper. 4 30 times 3. Okay, guys, I'm multiplying times a whole number. So in this case, I do not have to make it a 3.00. I can just leave it as 3, and then remember, we're going to move our decimal at the end anyway. So just put that 3 underneath the 0. Okay, we're going to go ahead and solve. So on your paper, 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 3, 9. And 3 times 4, 12. Okay, so right now, remember the rule is solve first, then move the decimal, right? So right now you should have 1,290. But we know that we have to move our decimal. The only number that has a decimal right now is the 4 30 hundredths. And if you look at it, it has 2 places. Start in the back, make your waves. 1, 2. If I have only 2 decimal places in my equation, that means I'm going to have 2 decimal places in my answer. Starting from the back, make your waves. So when you make your waves, you should have gotten 12 and 90 hundredths. So it means and then remember, that last 0, does it matter? No, it has no value. So if you look at your answer choices, B says 12 and 9 tenths. Is that the same thing as 12 and 90 hundredths? You should be answering yes, because that last 0 doesn't matter. So on number 1, on the right side, oops, messed up. The last one on the right side, the first one on the right side, you should have B. Max, put that shoe down. Put it down. This guy, put the shoe down. I don't even know. Okay. Next question. Number 3, right here, where it says Claire. Okay, Miss Claire is going to buy bagels for the teachers at Old Town Elementary. Oh, what a nice person, right? A dozen bagels cost $6.85. A single bagel, one bagel, costs 79 cents. If Claire buys 3 dozens and 1 single, how much will she have to pay? Okay, so there's a few words in here that I want to talk about before we actually solve. The first one is dozen. Do we know how much is in a dozen? There's a mosquito. Oh my gosh, there's so many distractions in this video. I'm sorry. Okay, a dozen. A dozen is equal to how many? 12. You should know that. A dozen is equal to 12. The word single means 1. Okay, like a single piece of cheese. 1. Okay. So Claire buys 3 dozens and 1 single. And we know that it says 1 dozen, a dozen, equals $6.85. So I wrote it down so that I can remember that. 1 dozen is equal to $6.85, and 1 single bagel is 79 cents. But it's not saying that she bought 1 dozen. It's saying that she bought 3 dozens, right? She bought 3 dozens. So what do you think we're going to have to do? We're going to have to multiply first the $6.85 times 3 because she bought 3 dozens. So let's do $6.85 times 3. $6.85 times 3. So right now, this is what you should have. Okay, and then let's solve. 3 times 5, 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 8, 24. Plus 1, 25. Carry the 2. 3 times 6, 18. Plus 2, 20. Okay, so right now, as an answer, you should have 2,055. But what are we forgetting? Our decimal place, right? How many waves? 1, 2. Okay. If there's 2 waves up top, there's got to be 2 waves downtown at the bottom. So for the 3 dozens, it's $20.55. However, we're not done. We're not done because in the question it says that she bought 3 dozens and 1 single bagel. And how much is 1 single bagel? 79 cents. So if she just bought 1, I can simply add that into my answer. So I'm going to take $20.55 and I'm going to add 79 cents down here. So right now, this is what you should have. Okay? So 9 plus 5, 14. Carry the 1. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 7, 13. Carry the 1. 0 and 0, 0, plus 1. Bring down the 1. Oh, don't forget to bring down your decimal. Sorry, we are adding, so your decimal comes straight down. And then bring down that 2. So you should have gotten an answer of $21. Ooh, dollar symbol. $21.34. So that gives you answer, I believe that is answer D on this one. You see that? D. And make sure you're showing your work on here, guys, or somewhere on a sheet of paper stapled. Remember, no work, no credit. I say that all the time. We're not magic mathematicians. We have to show our work all the time, even me. Okay, y'all seen me, I make mistakes all the time. Okay, number 3. I swear, mosquito. Okay, a penny, 1 penny, is 1 5200 millimeters thick and has a mass of 2 5/10 grams. A stack of 20 pennies is how many millimeters thick? Okay, so I feel like, well, I don't feel like, I shouldn't say I feel like, but they told us that 1 penny is 1 5200 millimeters thick, and it has a mass of 2 5/10 grams. But they're not asking me for grams. They're not asking me about the weight. Grams is talking about weight. I don't care about the weight. So what they're doing is they're trying to trick me. They're trying to think they think I'm a fool. They think I'm not going to realize that this number right here doesn't matter. So in your equation, or sorry, in your question, cross out where it talks about a mass of 2 5/10, because that's not even what the question is asking me for. They're trying to trick you there, so scratch it out. Okay, so we don't care about the mass being 2 5/10. Okay, so going back to this, 1 penny is 1 5200, and it says, the very last sentence says, a stack of 20 pennies is how many millimeters thick? So if this is 1, how am I going to figure out for 20? I'm going to multiply 1 5200 times 20. Simple as that. If this is for 1, and I want to know for 20, I'm going to multiply. So let's solve. Starting with the 0. 0 times 2, 0. 0 times 5, 0. 0 times 1, 0. So right now, we have this because we did all the 0 times 2, 0 times 5, 0 times 1. You guys, this dog is doing like all the terrible things in the world right now. What are you doing? Oh, I'm going to get you. Okay. Now that we've done this 0, it's time to move on to this one. Because I flashed this one out, I know I'm going to need a 0 the hero down here. So go ahead and put your 0 the hero. And now I'm ready to solve with the 2. So now 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 5, 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 1, plus 1 more, 3. So you should have this right here. And now it's time to add them. Obviously the zeros don't really make a difference, but we're going to do it anyway. So our answer right now is 3,040. But I cannot forget about my decimal, guys. How many places? 1, 2. So if it's 1 and 2 on top, it has to be 2 on bottom. So what is the thickness of 20 pennies? 30 4/10, or 30 40 hundredths. And let's look at our question on that one. It's a griddable. That's what you call these. These are griddable questions. So make sure that you're putting your numbers in the correct place, because that is what I'm going to be checking for when I grade this one in particular, that you're actually putting the numbers in the right place value. Okay? Max, come here. Come here. Come here. You're doing something bad, I can tell. Come here. What do you have? Oh. I don't know where he got. He literally was carrying a... Where did he get this from? That is so funny. Oh my god. He is carrying a Valentine's card from last year with a picture of a dog that looks like him. Who does that? My dog does that. I can't right now. I can't with you, Max. Get over here. Come here. Come here. Who are you? Come here. That is funny. You were so silly. Can you say goodbye to all my students today and make sure, tell them that they're behaving? Yes. Get all your work done, guys, okay? Mwah. Love you. Be good.